Born and raised as one of 2 female daughters in the midst of 8 children, Aisha had to carry the burden of household labor, as her other sister was just a toddler. Overburdened with poverty, Aisha's father sold her off to a young rich car dealer in the city, who expressed his obsession over the underage girl when he visited the village. Her mother emotionally blackmailed her into accepting the marriage. Her father had beaten the life out of her when she initially disagreed with the marriage. After being starved and subjected to misery in her father's house, she finally gave in. Forced to stop her education, Aisha was married off to BK without her consent. Her mother expressed great joy throughout the village and rained praises on her rich son-in-law, who had gifted her with a huge sum of money, new clothes, and jewelry, as well as sponsoring her first son to learn new skills at the mechanic shop. After the consummation of the marriage, Aisha bled throughout the night, as the white sheets were soaked with both her tears and pain. BK opened up a small fruit shop for her in town to be able to earn something for herself. Aisha felt resentment towards everyone from then on. Her troubles soon followed. One day, after getting delayed at her workplace, she was unable to get home early and prepare some evening meals for BK. Upon her arrival home, BK angrily removed his belt and hit her several times with it, till she was at the brink of slipping out of consciousness. Unable to bear the pain, she ran away to her mother figure in the market. The kind old woman treated her wounds and begged her to go back to her husband's house, and calmly encouraged her to be the perfect wife in order for the abuses to stop. However, the abuses didn't end there. It escalated to more sexual abuses and physical abuses for the least and insignificant mistakes. Unable to bear it all, she packed all her things and returned back to her parents' house, only to be met with looks of shame and disgust, as her mother shamed her for not being able to take a little beating from her husband when she, as old as she was, took occasional beatings from her father. Her mother escorted her back to Big K's house, only to find an angry Big K turning the room upside down. Aisha's mother calmed him down and pleaded for her daughter, asking Big K to take her back. Immediately her mother left, Big K gathered all his energy and hit her with any object that came his way till she was not moving anymore. The next morning, she found herself on the hospital bed with bruises all over. After the nurse attended to her and helped her up, the distressed nurse encouraged her to press charges against her abusers due to the physical and sexual assaults, as well as miscarriage of her unborn child. But she disagreed, as her parents and neighborhood counselors had all advised her to stay. The nurse could only look at her with pity as she called in her family. Becky and her mother took her home. Her mother brought a lot of herbal tonics to prepare her womb for another pregnancy, but Becky avoided her for a while. After a few months, she got pregnant again and gave birth to a bouncing baby boy at just 17 years old. Malnourished and depressed, she always thought about ending it all, but when she looked at Nana, her small baby, she saw some form of hope. Disgusted with Aisha's new looks and body postpartum, Big K found a new obsession, a young university freshman, Amy. She immediately packed into Big K's luxurious 2-bedroom house and soon assisted Big K in harassing Aisha. As Big K stopped funding both Aisha and her family, Aisha had to go back to work, still breastfeeding Nana. Through it all, she still stayed, and she became an empty shell with no purpose. Amy soon left the house for a 3-month internship. Upon her return back home, she found Aisha pregnant. The anger she felt made her harass Aisha every day. As Aisha's due date approached, Amy thought it'd be hilarious to lock Aisha outside whilst it was raining, since Aisha was scared of the thunder. When Nana saw her mother shivering outside in the rain, he ran through the rain looking for help from neighbors, but most of them were asleep and his tiny hands could not ring the bell. As the level of water rose to her ankle, she took her small baby in her arms and left the house. Unfortunately, she collapsed on her way to the bus station. Little Nana cried desperately for help, and one kind woman, whose car had broken down nearby, came to their rescue. After several days in the hospital and multiple surgeries, Aisha and her baby were revived back to life. Cassie, the woman who saved them, decided to help Aisha after hearing her story. Years rolled by, and Amy helped Big K to go bankrupt. Tired with struggling financially, Amy left Big K for another victim. Big K was soon attacked by loan sharks and immediately sent to the hospital at the verge of death. After regaining consciousness, he looked in bewilderment as the nurse who walked in was his long-lost Aisha. She had grown into a more beautiful and healthy 30-year-old woman, full of life and enthusiasm, something he had never seen before. Big K looked away in shame. With her newfound bravery, she did what she should have done a long time ago. She filed for a divorce and pressed charges against Big K, who was arrested for defilement, domestic violence, and child marriage. As a survivor of domestic violence, the advice she always told her younger students and other women was to flee from abusive marriages, irrespective of the circumstances, because those victims were our mothers, wives, sisters, and daughters.